Okay, to make a main menu, we're going to go to the Create menu again, and I'm going to choose this time a blank form. So I'm not going to use the wizard or the form design. I'm going to go for a blank one. Click on the blank form. Here it is. I want to see that in design view though, so I'm going to swap to design view. And probably the first thing I'll do is just change the background color to something a bit nicer. Okay, so all I want to do on here is I want to have a label telling me what it is, and I want to have some buttons that can open other forms and reports and things like that up. So I'm going to go for my label first, stick my label on there, and I'm just going to type in main menu. Now I can obviously make this bigger and change the color and make it more attractive and do what I want afterwards. I'll just, for the time being, I'll just make it a little bit bigger so we can see it more easily. And I'll just change the color, I think, so it stands out a bit more. Okay, so there's my label. To put a button on, I go back into my um, into my design window for my form design tools, and this one here with all little X's on it are buttons. So I click on my button, I drag my button where I want it to go, and then I get this little wizard that pops open. Now this wizard is basically asking me what I want my button to do when I click on it. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to look for a form operation. So I want to open a form, so that's what I'm going to choose. Form operation, open a form. Click next, and there's the only form that I've got in this called the videos form. I'm going to choose that one. I do want to open it and show all the records, so I say next again, and then I just decide whether I want a picture or whether I want a title. So I'm just going to call this videos. So that's the name that will appear on my button. This was what it looked like. You see the preview on the left. Next again. Now I could give this a special name. This is for the code that goes behind to make it work. I'm just going to leave it as command 1 for now. That'll be okay. And hit finish. So now, if I come out of design view back into normal view, this is what my form looks like, and hopefully if I click on the button, it opens up my other form for me. So now on this form, I haven't actually got anything on there, so I haven't got a button to close the form or to move through the records or create new records or anything like that. So what I could do now is on this form, I could go into the design view of it, and on this one I could add some buttons in to do other things. So perhaps I could add a button, and when I draw my button this time, I'm going to tell it to do a record operation, a record navigation, and I'll say go to the next one. So if I go to the next record, you can see I can either have one with an arrow, or I could choose a word for it. I'm going to leave it with a picture. Let's see, a right arrow. I'm going to go for that one. Say next, and hit finish. Now this time, if I go back to my normal view, you can see now every time I click this button, it moves one more record along. Now in exactly the same way, I could create buttons to make it go to the previous record, one that will add a record, one that will delete a record, and so on. And you're going to get a chance to do this later on. The other thing you can put on there is you can put buttons that close forms. So if I go back into my design view again, I'll add another button in. And on this button, I'm going to go for, let's have a look, I think it's under application. I don't want to quit the application. It's a form operation. I'm going to close my form this time. Say next. I'll leave it as a stop sign, I think. Say next and finish. And now I've got this other little button on there. Now I can position these where I want afterwards, but just for this demo, I'll show you what it looks like. Go back into the normal view. So this time, there's my other button that opens and moves through the records. I click on this one. I haven't saved anything yet, so I'm going to say yes. And I need to name my form, so I didn't name my main menu, so I'm going to name that now. Say OK. And you'll see now what happened. So this is my main menu form. I click on there to open up my videos form. I can click through my records, and if I close this one, it closes the form down. So those are all the things you need to know to get all your forms up and running nicely. Obviously, you can put buttons on that will do print previews of reports. You can have buttons that launch search screens, run queries. It's up to you what you do, but you want to make this as user-friendly as you can. The last thing we want to do is to basically make it so that when we open the database, we automatically see this main menu form, that this one opens first. So to do that, I'm going to go into the File menu. I'm going to choose Options. And when Options open, I go into the one that says Current Database, which is on here, Current Database. and it says display form, and it says none at the moment. So if I choose my drop down arrow, I can choose my main menu form, click OK, say OK. Now the next time I close this database and opener again, it will automatically open with my main menu first, so it makes it much easier for the user to use. Okay, good luck.